oh, well, this seems like there's something here, like there's little themes of pride and like vices and virtues, and just did research and found this entire list, like different lists actually, of a bunch of vices and virtues, and we thought it just kind of fit,
Cool.
So yeah.
This is from OMG, it's Amanda, 99. What was your favorite part of making the album, and what are you most looking forward to when the album is released?
Favorite part of making the album? I don't know. That's it's like when you're in the studio for a long time, you can't wait to get on the road. But I think once you have the ideas arranged, then the most fun part is adding like ear candies and little things that pop in after a lyric, like how Eminem or Dr. Dre would do, just like a little sound, after a lyric to kind of put that point across.
Right.
So that's usually fun for us to do, just messing around with weird sounds.
We took a trip up the coast in California and went surfing for a couple days and wrote some songs. And actually, I don't know if any of those songs made the album, but it was worth doing because it was fun.
Now, you mentioned being on the road. Are you planning a tour at some point this year?
Yeah, we're in the process right now. We've been in the studio for a while, so we want to get on the road, and I'm sure a year after touring we'll want to get back in the studio, so it'll all work out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question from Christy C. He says, I love the Ballad of Mona Lisa, but I wanted to know where your inspirations came from while writing Vices and Virtues. And you've said that, you were looking at a lot of like different vices and virtues, and that sort of like drove the theme of the album. How about musically? Were there any bands or anything that you were looking to or listening to that sort of inspired the direction that you took?
Yeah.
There's some new things that, well, I know for Brendan, like Peter Gabriel's somebody that he grew up listening to, and we never really used that era of music or that style in that era as much. There's one song that kind of
like an 80s
does feel like that, a little more like world music.
Yeah. I was kind of listening to In Your Eyes. Well, the whole record on repeat, but mostly In Your Eyes on repeat. Just being. Yeah.
That's a great record.
Oh, it's amazing.
There's so many styles there to sort of choose from.
Totally. He's such an eclectic artist. There's a lot to pull from.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Now, here's a question from Manda 42723, and she wants to know: were you afraid of what would happen to your fans after the break? Like, was there ever a thought that maybe, that did you ever think that the fan base would be there, or?
We were concerned, yeah. I mean, right when we decided we would split, that was a major concern. We thought, okay, well, if we do decide to keep going, we have to let them know that we're still behind this 100%, and we hope that they are too. So once we decided, we're definitely going to make a record. Why not? We love doing this. Then we made it clear to our fans, hey, we're still going to do this if you guys will support us. We'd love to have your support. So I mean, since we had the split and decided to keep going, the support's been insane. And already with releasing the singles and getting ready for the record release, and the fans they're just the most passionate people I think that we've ever met. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
Just so you know, one of your most passionate fans is Pizza Pants 12. I swear, there must have been about 30 questions from Pizza Pants 12 who was begging to get one in. So, Pizza Pants 12, this is for you. And the question I've chosen is: other than music, what are some of your talents?
That is a good question. Well, Pizza Pants. What do we do? Besides music, music is really our biggest love. We're kind of married to our music, so it's really nice. But other than that, to get kind of nerdy, I guess we got really into playing Nazi zombies. I don't know
on Call of Duty.
On Call of Duty, right? It's a video game, and we've been pretty addicted to that for the past couple months.
Yeah, we'll play each other online, and it's kind of funny because you'll be playing somebody and. You're like doing okay, but then like you hear the voice and it's like an 11-year-old kid from, like Wichita or something, and it's like.
So you're talking about sitting in front of your TV with the headset on while you're playing.
Yeah, we're those guys.
Full on geek mode.
Yeah, we're geeking it.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know. I bought a camera. I was trying to get into photography, but that's taking a little time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I just got Call of Duty over the past weekend. And,
Yeah?
that was basically the entirety of my weekend. So we'll,
Oh, there you go.
we'll
Well,
have
that's good to know
you'll
we're
have
not
to give me
alone.
some tips and tricks after we're done with this.
Okay.
Awesome.
And thank you, Pizza Pants, for that question.
Yes, pizza.
Now we're going to go to Katie Callahan, who says, both Spencer and Brendan, what are your top 10 musical artists? I'm not sure we have time for 10, so why don't you just give me like your favorite band of all time?
Oh,
Yeah.
favorite band. Ooh.
Or 2 or 3 if you can.
Okay.
An old and a new, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do an old and a new.
Sure. Well, a new one, I guess it's not that new. We've been listening to Arcade Fire for, I guess, like 6 years now. But their new record is so good, in my opinion. It's phenomenal. It's like when you're listening to it as a songwriter, for me, I get like really frustrated because it's like one of those records where I love it and I hate it because I listen and I'm like listening with intent, saying, "Oh, I wish I could have written that part. That's so cool. It's so simple, but how do you do that? Less is more. It's really cool. They did a really good job on that record. So
That's
a good
nominated for a Grammy, for an Album of the Year Grammy. Do you think they have a chance of winning?
one. I hope so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's up against, but that was definitely one of our albums of the year. So good luck to them.
Yeah.
Spencer, what about you?
Well, a new band, I guess our fellow Las Vegas guys, the Killers. They're just a great rock band, I think. Also, with the live show, like their music transfers so well to their live show, and we've seen them a couple times, and they're just really good all around. And an old band, I don't know. I'd say Simon and Garfunkel for me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Another dynamic duo.
Oh, that's great. Old Peter Gabriel. Why not? Throw him back in there. He's always a good staple. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's go to a question by Panic88, who says, Panic at the Disco inspired me to be a musician. What inspired you, and when did you realize that you wanted to be musicians?
Well, thank you. That's awesome to know that we inspired. I don't know. My mom always tells me that I was like 1 or 2 years old banging on pots and pans in the kitchen. I don't believe her. I think she just does that to make me feel better about it. But I don't think I really found out I wanted to do music until middle school. When I joined band, I started playing trumpet, and then I got braces, so I stopped playing trumpet. Then I wanted to quit. So it was a whole process. I almost ended up quitting band, but then my teacher said, no, why don't you try drums? So I tried drums, and that ended up being like my first favorite instrument. Just really, I was really energetic kid, so that got all my energy out. So I think, middle school was about the time I knew I was going to.
That's the same for me.
Yeah.
Joined jazz band, and because in regular band you have to, it's more like marching style drum stuff.
Yeah.
But in jazz band you can play the full kit. So, started that, and the only bad thing was like you had to wake up at like an hour early because it was before school, but it was worth it.
You guys started the band when you were so young. Did you even have a chance to come up with a plan B?
Kind of. Brennan was going to go to Arizona to go to college or something. Right?
Yeah, before we met Pete and started touring and stuff, I going to the practice space and telling these guys, like, as soon as I showed up, I was like, hey guys, I figured out what I'm going to do with my future. I'm going to Arizona, cut hair, and do recording school. I'm getting a cosmetology license. And everyone just looked at me like, are you serious, dude? You out of
like
your
an
mind?
intervention where it's just like, dude, like something is going to happen. We have to keep going.
They had to intervene. It wasn't good. So I'm glad that they intervened.
Yeah, thank you for doing
Got
that.
me.
as
Yeah,
well.
thank you,
I
Spencer.
think you made the right choice. Let's see. Here's a question from Josh the Wells. Where are the Lost Cabin songs, and will you release them? Give us a little background in case people don't know what the Lost Cabin songs are.
Well, for those of you that don't know, the Lost Cabin songs, as they're known, I guess, were a batch of songs that we were working on for Pretty Odd, without knowing it was called Pretty Odd, without having any direction. Kind of wanted to do a musical. Ryan had this idea of this story that he had been working on, like while we were on tour, and it was a lot of the songs just really grandiose. I think it was a little too ambitious for what we could accomplish, especially live and even in the studio. So I don't know if those will ever see the light of day. It's kind of like Prince has his vault of stuff you'll never hear, so maybe we should start ours. I don't know.
But one thing though, that is that it's not a cabin song, but one of the songs that we were working on, when we came down from the cabin and were in the studio working on those first batch of songs that ended up getting cut, one of those songs is got kind of transformed and is on this record. So yeah, that's really the only song that isn't brand new in the past year. So people will get to hear.
One day in a few years, there's going to be like a 5-disc box set that's going to have all of the B-sides.
All the 30-second
ones to listen to that.
So keep pushing for that, guys.
Yeah,
We're going to
geez.
get out there at some point.